What I'm going to say now may sound very hyperbolic, and you know me, trust me, I'm gonna say it anyway. Yes, sir. As a Lightning fan, I felt very good, very kimochi at the end of chapter 1046, because god damn. Wow, him just wielding the lightning bolt like he was Zeus. Oh, that was so good. Kratos, beware. Luffy has the power of an Olympic god. We need Luffy in God of War 5 for a Greek special, because this man, honest to God, here we go. What I think he did is probably one of the scariest things I've ever seen him do in the entire series of One Piece, ever. Including fillers, including movies, ever. This is including things like him breaking through layers upon layers of bedrock to be Crocodile. More than even pushing apart 2 buildings with pure arm and shoulder strength in Water 7. More than destroying half of the arc in a single continuous attack. More than destroying Enel's Raigo that was going to vaporize an entire island. More than sending Caesar Clown packing with the Grizzly Magnum for miles upon miles on end. Or even the first Kong gun that sent Doffy packing from the top of the plateau into the city in an instant. More than all of these moments, what Luffy did at the end of 1046 is scarier. So right now, I am really amped up to kind of tell you guys and talk to you guys about why what Luffy did is, in my mind, so crazy, so Looney Tune status. But before that, support your boy with a thumbs up, a subscription, and click on that bell to join the squad. I promise you it's good for me and it's good for you. I won't bite, number 1. But number 2, listen. Listen! I gotta do what I gotta do. Grit your teeth. Brief word from today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is none other than Surfshark VPN. Surfshark VPN consistently is a quality service no matter where you are in the world, because there's so many servers across the world. If you're out and about and you're trying to enjoy your time with family and friends and you're using any public Wi-Fi, you want to make sure that you're protected and secured, and a VPN like Surfshark VPN can have your back. Especially if you want to do, let's say, some downtime and use public Wi-Fi to go to some very salacious, some very naughty places. Yes.
What's wrong with you?
Then you absolutely want Surfshark VPN on your 6. It has very good features like the clean web feature, or even identity changing and hiding features that will make sure that any malware, any phishing attempts, any sort of malice coming your way is just snuffed out. Plus, very important here too, when it comes to bang for your buck, no one has Surfshark VPN beats. Excellent quality service for a very affordable rate, especially compared to other VPN providers, without a doubt. Finally, if you want to gain access to any region-gated content, I have to region block some videos. If you want access to that content, easy peasy, you can use Surfshark VPN for my own videos, for, let's say, Netflix, Disney Plus, and with a click of a button, you can easily gain access to that region-gated content, no matter where you are in the world. So, on that note, I want you to go in the description box down below and use code KOL, that is KOL, to get not only 83% off, but also 3 months free of your purchase of Surfshark VPN, and you can refund if you want to for free, no charge at all. So once again, thank you Surfshark VPN for being awesome, and now let's get back to the video at hand. So off the gate, even though I'm hyped, I gotta be a Debbie Downer so we can kind of ground ourselves here. And trust me, I got the titties to be a Debbie. This might not be a big deal at all. If Luffy just, let's say, throws Lightning Bolt at Kaido and Kaido just eats the attack, okay, fine, who really cares? And then also, we know that Luffy is a very poor conductor of electricity. It's been known for like years, obviously. And in his case, no lightning or electricity ever works on Luffy. So weird interactions with him and electricity do happen from time to time. Plus, if Luffy is reacting to Lightning Bolt to grab it, that's all well and cool, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, we have seen people like Nami react to Enel's attacks and divert lightning. Luffy himself kicked away a lightning bolt in chapter 297 during Enel's Mama Ragen bombardment. So One Piece characters timing lightning isn't really a big deal because it's been happening since like Skypiea. So then, okay, why is Luffy grabbing lightning so scary? So we have to revisit chapter 1044 real quick. The Gorosei say that Luffy is actually a user of the human fruit model Nika. He possesses a body with the properties of rubber. An awakening brings his rubbery body greater physical strength and freedom. So based on their words, what on earth makes Luffy a quote sun god end quote? Huh? The idea of a sun-based ability in so many other franchises and shows would indicate something to do with light or fire, holy, hot temperatures, things of that sort. So in my mind right now, I'm thinking about Yamamoto Genryusai from Bleach, or Escanor, Seven Deadly Sins, Cruel Sun, everyone knows. And you can look at 90% of the Fire Force cast, A.N. Nihono, Laton, priest and a religion that worship the sun. Laton. Though to be fair, not everyone's like fire-based sun stuff. Like, for example, other series like Hime Reborn with the Sun Flame, where the Sun Flame is doing very unusual things like speeding up blood rates and recovery rates and that kind of stuff that are not normally associated with fire-based abilities. Or let's say JoJo's Part 1 and 2 with the Hamon, Ripple. That sun-based stuff is a bit unusual, but Luffy's rubber, yo? What? How? How does that work with a sun god? Now, because his appearance is all white, that could be representative of what the sun looks like from space, but just the image of Luffy's character design being the reason why he's the sun god feels a little bit lackluster if that's the main reason why. It's weird as all hell considering what the sun is, which basically is a titanic ball of hot plasma. What is lightning again? Lightning. The core of lightning bolts are plasma. Oh, wait a minute. Watch this. What's this? You have to wonder, hold on. Can Luffy control or even produce lightning since it's just another form of plasma? That's
Oh yeah.
As the King of Lightning, how can I not just love the idea of the main character producing lightning? Oh my god. We know that Luffy has his red series of attacks, and it seems to be the combo of his Gear 2 plus Armor Haki, hardening to make the fire. But Luffy at very rare time, like it's some really rare, like Shining Foil Charizard, like it's rare, very scarce on the market. But at very rare times, Luffy has actually shown the ability to actually use lightning in his attacks for sometimes just strange reasons. Because his final attack on Don Chinjao, right, was called the Thor Elephant Gun, an attack modeled after the One Piece Strong World film, the Giganto Thor act. That attack was imbued with lightning because the foot that Luffy used went into the clouds and someone like absorbed the lightning in the clouds. But in chapter 719, when Chinjao and Luffy clash, there's also lightning displayed. The lightning is drawn as white in the manga, despite both attacks actually utilizing Haki hardening, but it's still displayed white. This is a bit different than, let's say, the black lightning that we see in their first Haki punch clash in chapter 716, where there are some small streaks of black lightning being shown in that particular first clash. So it's kind of hard to tell in the manga, and it's actually a very similar problem that folks have with Sanji and his Ifrit Janbei with the white lightning effects that we see. But in Luffy's case, the idea here is that maybe he is producing his own lightning at that moment against Chinjao. It might be because of the clash itself, but the Thor notation in the attack usually kind of implies that electricity is being used, despite, again, the vagueness of it in the manga. In the anime, however, here we go. In the anime, it's a little bit different here because there is another scene where Luffy does do a Thor Elephant Gun after the Don Chinjao clash, and it's against Katakuri. Katakuri in episode 854, where in that case, Luffy just straight up in the mirror world, no clouds, through rubble, but Luffy just straight up produces electricity for that one Thor elephant gun attack against Katakuri. So, in the minds of Toei, seemingly Luffy at times can make electricity. So let's run with this idea, okay? Luffy can create electricity since the sun is essentially a giant ball of plasma, and as the sun god, being able to produce and control plasma makes a degree of sense. Therefore, the lightning bolt that we see at the end of chapter 1046 is a lightning bolt that he created like he was an L, or at least some paramecia version of NL, because he is Nika, a Zoan ability user that acts like a paramecia. So Luffy just manifested a lightning bolt like he was Zeus, rather than actually catching a lightning bolt that was coming down from the clouds above. But also, on the idea of him actually creating lightning, there is the idea that some special kinds of rubber can discharge electricity, or let's say electric ion charge flow. Like let's say, for example, you rub your hair with the balloon, which if you've done it before, you know that it creates a lot of static electricity. This idea could be the reason why Luffy, in theory, of course, can produce his own electricity and therefore his own lightning bolts. Also, along the same lines, but not as far as controlling and producing lightning, he could just simply control lightning if it's in the environment around him. Because again, the sun god, in theory, can control all various forms of plasma. So he can actually make it, but if it's there, he can manipulate it. What's kind of crazy is that it gives me the feeling, whether it's actually producing and controlling or just controlling,
hi, how are you?
Luffy, like Big Mom and Kaido, in a roundabout way, not to the same extent, but in a roundabout way, could also manipulate the weather.
Crazy.
Also manipulating the weather. Because we see in 1045, at the beginning of the chapter, it's clear skies. And then later on in the chapter, the storm clouds arrive. And according to Jack, in 1026, dragons can bring storm clouds with them. And then in this case, for chapter 1046, Luffy took advantage of the storm clouds and lightning bolts in the area. But maybe the storm clouds also came as a result of Luffy's weird weather manipulation, if he can actually control lightning and plasma to that extent. After Luffy's Fusen in chapter 1043, when he is in Giganto form for the first time in Gear 5, we see behind him a surge of lightning bolts. Maybe that surge of lightning bolts was the result of his doing when he was transforming to giant form, and they came with him. This could also be maybe the reason why a lightning bolt randomly saved Luffy in Logtown all the way in the East Blue Arc. It's a bit funky, nothing confirmed on that part at all. But at the bare minimum, if there's lightning there, then the man can control the lightning, because all lightning is in the dominion of plasma, which is under the dominion of the sun god.
Amazing!
Kind of nuts. That's actually pretty scary. There's so many implications when it comes to Luffy and what he could do when he could just grab lightning and just harness that power at will, like no problem. But let's move away from all of this sun god plasma creation control stuff and look at this from a much simpler perspective. But this much simpler perspective is actually even scarier than Luffy creating and controlling plasma. Unironically, because in this case, it would not just apply to plasma. It would apply to everything. Everything. And that. My heartbeat is matching the drums of liberation, because that is really scary. So, am I spitting? I'm spitting. Doesn't matter. We go with the flow, baby. I'm sweating too, but we go with the flow. You've noticed, okay, that Luffy's able to actually apply rubber properties to both the environment and other people. This seems to be a little different than, say, Katakuri or Dofi, who could apply Awakening to only the environment and control it very, very well. And then on the flip side, Law and Kid could apply the properties of their abilities to other objects and people, but they don't. Key thing here, Law and Kid do not have the same environmental control as Katakuri and Dofi, which means that when it comes to Paramecia abilities, they're kind of like all over the place in terms of what they can apply their ability properties to and how much they can control of that. Because we've never seen Katakuri turn someone into Mochi, or Dofi turn someone else into strings. And Dofi had plenty of time to showcase this ability if he actually had it. Because we had Gats and company in the chapters actually stalling for like half a year in IRL terms. It was ridiculous. But no one got turned into strings by Doflamingo. But Kid can apply magnetism to an object and also Big Mom. Law can do the R-Room onto Big Mom and apply the room to his sword and manipulate space in that odd way. And plus in their case too, for Law and Kid, for them, their stamina bars drop much quicker compared to Dofi and Katakuri, since they could use the Awakenings for an extended amount of time without any problems at all. Luffy, this man, Luffy seems to have the best of all of the Paramecia abilities, since he is not a Paramecia, because he is a special mythical Zoan. That is how I define Luffy. Until stated otherwise, I define Luffy as a special mythical Zoan. Just how Katakuri is a special Paramecia, and Katakuri actually seems to have the best of most of the Logi abilities. Yes, so even though we haven't seen Luffy turn a sword or a bullet into rubber, the lightning bolt...
Fascinating.
The lightning bolt might be affected by his awakening, which is why it's staying in his hands. He didn't make the bolt of lightning, but when he did grab the bolt of lightning, he turned the bolt of lightning rubbery.
Oh, hell no.
He turned the bolt of lightning into rubber, and it has maintained some of its original properties, but it's all just, oddly in his hands, rubber. This is an absolutely scary proposition. I have to point out as well, chapter 1044. Among all the madness, among all the weird stuff, Luffy was somehow able to rebound Kaido's blast breath. I have to wonder, hold on, time out. The ground is turned to rubber by Luffy, true. But how the hell does it not explode? Even on impact against rubber.
NANI?
Yeah, I get it. It's rubber, but this is a gigantic flame wave. Flame waves don't bounce. I don't care if it's hitting rubber. Unless you make them bounce by applying the properties of rubber to the flame wave itself. It doesn't make sense for Kaido's blast breath to not detonate on impact, even if the ground is rubber, let alone rebound in a straight beeline right for Kaido, as if the flame wave hit the rubber, just stayed there and like consolidated there for some weird reason, and then bounced back at him. Unless it was also turned into rubber. And there is actually some weird sound effects when it comes to the impact of the blast breath on the ground. There is a boing sound effect, and then afterwards, when it's rebounded, a boing sound effect when it's rebound onto Kaido, and then once it's Kaido, who at the time is not rubber at all, it explodes. At first, I was hella skeptical on the idea when folks brought it up in chapter 1044. I was thinking, okay, maybe he's the sun god, he has a degree of fire control, like his red series would denote to that, but now I think there's a good chance, a really good chance, that Luffy might be able to apply his rubbery properties to all matter and energy.
What?
All matter and energy. Not just plasma, but everything. So even a Kizaru laser, grab the laser, boom, rubber stick. Hit him with it. Okay, what? Why not? Salvo's fire, boom, rubber, easy clap, not a big deal. Even smoker smoke, boom, rubber. Why not? Anything that is visible, I think Luffy could potentially just grab and turn into rubber, given what the properties of his ability could be. Now, invisible forces, like for example, Apu's sound waves or Fujitori's gravity, probably not. Yeah, okay, probably not. But if Luffy can see it, he can rubberify it. That is insane, especially since we've never, ever seen a awakened Paramecia user apply their properties to energy. Lightning or fire, potentially. Energy, like that. But Luffy might just be super built different, because he isn't a Paramecia. He is, once again, a special, mythical Zoan.
Psycho!